Today we're going to be looking at the Rukka Kemi, the first Rukka garment that doesn't sport any Gore-Tex. So let's talk about it. The Rukka Kemi comes first in its kind in a long while at least to not sport any Gore-Tex. And if you're anything like me, you probably thought that Rukka and Gore-Tex go hand in hand until the end of time. But this time, not so much. And it's not because they have bad blood with one another, it's purely because they wanted to develop something that is more attainable for us mere mortals. In this video, I'm going to do a comparison between the Kemi and the Nivala 2.0, as well as a little road test. So let's get into that part. Kicking off this comparison, I wanted to just say that the reason why I've chosen the Nivala 2.0 is because I feel like this Kemi and the Nivala share some similarities, and also the Nivala 2.0 is quite popular amongst commuters, adventure riders and even police officers. So starting us off, let's look at the age-old question of how much is this going to set me back? Well, if you take the Kemi jacket alone, it comes in around 750 RRP, whereas the Nivala 2.0 is just shy of 1400 RRP in that sense. But if you were to get the Kemi jacket and trousers, you'd actually be looking at £1,350, that is, and that would actually equate to you saving £50, and you'd actually get a two-piece set from Rukka. The next big question is probably going to be, if not Gore-Tex, then what membrane are they using? Well, in the Kemi they're actually using the AWS, which is their active wear system. This membrane is still a 3-layer laminate that's been used in this Rukka garment, so it shares some similarities to the Nivala's Gore-Tex 3-layer membrane. If you want to look at the stats between the both of them, the AWS comes in with a hydrostatic head of 25k and a breathability of around 20k, whereas Gore-Tex has a hydrostatic head of 28k and a breathability of around 15k upwards. So there's nothing too dissimilar in that front in terms of its breathability and its waterproofing. Will you notice it out on the road? Probably not. Leading on from that, let's look at the construction of the both of them. So with all Rukka garments pretty much anyway, they sport a Cordura shell as well as some of their Armor-Tech or Armor Core reinforcement layers or padding on high abrasion zones like your elbows and your shoulders. Now that's what you get with the Kemi. You get the Armor-Tech in the shoulder and on the elbows. When it comes to the overall construction in terms of like the waterproofing in the tape seams, let's say, they actually have the same similarities between this and the Nivala. So Gore-Tex like to use 5mm on either side of exposed seams where water ingress can go in. Well, so has the AWS. Moving on to the armour, as you will find with pretty much every Rukka garment within the line, is their D30 Air XTR. Now this armour is slightly larger than your standard piece of armour. It's a Type B in that sense, and it also means that it can cover more surface areas in the event that we actually come off our motorcycle. What makes it also special is the fact that it has this nice little lattice structure that allows more airflow as well as being protective at the same time. Now the difference between the Kemi and the Nivala is that the Nivala has a chest protector whereas this one doesn't, and the back protector in the Nivala is of level 2 whereas this is level 1. When it comes to the certification of the jackets, these are both going to be CE-A rated. Now, in my eyes, I think that they could have passed it for a AA, but it might be because of the stretch fabric. But for me, I feel like this is going to be the safest CE-A rated garment on the market. To wrap up the comparison, let's look at the added benefits when you get the Nivala over the Kemi. So, of course, it has more features, and that's why it's at a higher price point. So, the features go like this in the sense that the chest protector comes standard with the Nivala. You get a level 2 back protector as standard. You also get a lovely duck down liner on the inside, which acts as your thermal layer, but also can act as a destination jacket. So, let's say you pop into a cafe and you don't want to wear your jacket, you can take it off and still keep yourself warm with that duck down. That kind of wraps it up for the Nivala and the Kemi comparison. Let's move on to some of the features that I may not have touched upon on the Kemi itself. Starting off with the overall ventilation, because as you may know, if you have a laminate jacket, the breathability may not always be there. But with the Rukka garments in general, you're not really going to have that issue because it's already thoroughly thought out. So the ventilation can be found on the shoulders as well as on the side here. That has a two-way waterproof YKK zip and actually opens up in a two-way manner so that if you open it from the bottom, it can actually act as an expansion panel. But just behind that, if you do want some more adjustment, you can use the adjustment straps here. In terms of the fit of it, you can adjust that too. On the arms with the poppers here with a three-way popper system, so you can either cinch it in or loosen it up. On the back as well, before I forget, you have a ventilation port on either side of the back. The neoprene collar is a nice little feature that you have as well. It comes up quite high, but when you're out on the road, as I will explain later on in the video, it doesn't actually scratch up against your neck, and you don't feel restrained or choked out by the collar itself. It's nice and soft, and it doesn't feel cumbersome. When it comes to the zips, you do have big old pull tabs on them, so it's easier to grab with a pair of gloves. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you have a popper there just to kind of protect the zip from actually attacking your tank, so it doesn't scratch it up, let's say. And if you go into the lower portion here, you also have this cool little feature that they've added, which is the crotch strap. So this stops it from separating from you in the event of a knock. But that pretty much wraps up the Rukka Kemi. I think this is the best time to now go out and test it out for it. So I've just pulled over at the side of the road. I thought it best to talk about what I found out about this Rukka Kemi while it's still fresh in my head. Now, I have been wearing this for over a month now because I absolutely love it, and I've actually been putting off this review because of how much I love this jacket. I'm so not wanting to give it back. Starting off, let's go with the comfort of the jacket overall. Never in my entire existence have I felt a jacket feel so nice. Now, this is purely down to the cut of it and to the membrane that they're now using, because let's start off with this membrane itself. It has a nice little stretch to it. That means that when I'm in it, like, my body can actually move around. I don't feel restricted on or off the bike. So that's one of the great things about this AWS, this active wear system, in that it is so forgiving in terms of its fit. It has a shorter cut at the front, meaning that when I'm on my bike, it doesn't bunch up, but when I'm off it, it doesn't look like I'm drowning in this jacket. Well, at least I don't think I do. And the longer cut at the back just means that I don't have to worry about a second moon being exposed to people behind me, because I don't have a weird draft or it's exposing my lower portion at the back there. Now, with the expansion panels here, I feel like if you're wearing more layers, it would actually work a little bit better in terms of keeping yourself a little bit warmer if you wanted to layer up. But talking about that, the warmth and breathability of this jacket, I'm literally only wearing a shirt under this, and it's not even summer yet, so it's a bit brisk at the moment, but I don't feel the need to layer up. The next point I want to talk about is the overall convenience, and what I mean by that is this a jacket out of a lineup of jackets in my wardrobe? Will it be one that I'll choose day in, day out? The quick answer is 100% yes. And for someone who rides like a retro bike, who wears more casual clothing because it kind of just fits that style a little bit more, this has surpassed that, because at the end of the day, I just want to be comfortable and safe on my bike, and this does it so well. Adding to that, one of the other reasons why I keep choosing this day in, day out was obviously because it battles against those elements, and I don't actually have to worry about them, because as you know, living in the UK, we never know truly what the weather is going to be like. But with this, I don't actually have to worry. It just takes that off my mind, and I know that if I go out and I get caught out in the rain, what's it going to do? It's not going to do anything, because I'm going to be absolutely bone dry in this jacket. So I might as well end it here. I feel like I've bored you and spoken so much that I've given you too much information. But if you did enjoy this video, then give us a like, comment down below what you love about this Rukka Kemi, or something that you like about it, down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, ride safe, and we'll see you all soon.